Okay, this is a video on how I clean off my fingers. I think all of us stampers and crafters can relate to this type of look. A lot of people say, hey, how do you keep your fingers so clean? Well, with certain types of media and techniques, I don't get quite as, kind of mucked up with, a ton of ink on all of my fingertips like that, all right? But it seems like, especially when I'm working with pigment inks and the handling of the paper and whatnot, I need to put post-it notes on the back of those types of cards so I'm not touching the card so much. But I don't know, when I work with pigment inks, I'm getting it all over. Okay, now this is just for beginner stampers, or people that might not know about this. But this is a pumice sponge, I believe it's called. I don't know, it's called by different things. I looked on Amazon, but there's like all kinds of different versions of this type of thing. But it's, it's kind of this light pumice type of thing. It's not a pumice stone. I don't think this is a real pumice stone. I think this is like a sponge like that. So it's not as harsh as like a pumice stone, because I know what those ones are. But this thing works great, and I was first made aware of these, I don't know, back in the 90s. Every stamp store had one of these around there in their sink area. You can put a little bit of soap on it if you want, but you really don't need to. But you just kind of go like this, and it just does the job, and I use one of these things like every day. I don't know if this thing came shaped like this. I think it did, though. It's not even mine, it's my wife's. I didn't even know she had one. I was using like a green scouring pad. I don't know, just because I never got around to buying one of these, but she put it out for my son to use at one time. Now, it's not going to get underneath my fingernail like that, but for the most part, see this right here? No problem, it just gets right off there. And I think it's just a little bit, it's probably a little bit better than using the green scouring side of a kitchen sponge to use on your fingers. I don't know. But it doesn't feel so harsh, maybe, as using one of those types of things, but good enough. It's always so embarrassing, when I, especially dye-based inks. Dye-based inks really stain your fingers, and sometimes I just couldn't get it off unless I took the time to take one of those green scouring pads and really work it off. This thing works so much better and faster, but, instead of going out to eat now, and I got, stained with, fingertips, these, it gets it nice and clean, and gets all that, for me, a lot of that pigment ink off. The dye-based inks stain a little bit more, but the pigment inks get, coverage a lot more because it's, they're oil-based and real thick. And when I'm doing one of my cards like that, they get really quite inky, but, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I wouldn't be able to do a good fingerprint, for all I know. But it sure works as great in terms of cleaning. But I don't know. I don't think it's affecting my fingerprint too much because I'm still able to get into my phone just fine, with the fingerprint recognition. All right, so anyways, just a quick video on inky fingers.